Yo, welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, Brother Guy, back again with another preview of UFC's Fight Night. Brandon Royval taking on Manel Kape for basically I'm on contender spot this weekend. We'll break this fight card down. Before I do that, please drop a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for choosing one Fighting with Friends. We do love all your support. And this is, coming to the end of the year, so we're gonna try and keep it as as neat as possible and give you guys as best details as we can. So many thanks to all of you guys that have been tuning in to Fight with Friends throughout this year. It just means absolutely so much to us. But yeah, let me not hold up too long. Let me get straight into it. Where we'll start at the top of the card. Let me bring it up on screen. Like I mentioned, this is UFC's Fight Night. Royval taking on Manel Kape. What a fight! What a fight! Look, the rest of the fight card is, it's alright. It's not really like that entertaining in terms of like jumping off the paper, but some good matchups, some good win streaks, and some fights are sort of has a lot at stake in terms of what's going to happen in the respective divisions. But before I get to those fights, I will start at the top of the card. This is going to be a fun one. We've got Brandon Royval and Manel Kape. Let me give you some numbers and some stats on these fighters before I break down their fight styles and sort of their X's and O's as to how each one could potentially win this fight. Brandon Raw Dog Royval, one of the fan favorites of the flyweight division. I don't know why I don't have his age there, but I believe he's in his 30s, if I'm not mistaken. He's number 2 ranked in the flyweight division. His record so far stands at 17 wins, 8 losses, 0 no contest. He's got 4 wins by KO, 9 wins by sub, 10 first round finishes, and he lost to Joshua Van by unanimous decision in his last fight. A little bit unfortunate, if you ask me. I thought the fight was actually a lot closer than what people thought, and I actually gave the win to Brandon Moreno. Brandon Royval. But here we are. Manel Kape, on the other hand, has had sort of a sticky time since being in the UFC, coming out from Ryzen, being a champion out there in Japan, then coming into the UFC. Has got some good victories under his belt, but whenever he's fought against the top tier of the division, i.e., speaking about Pantoja, he lost and hasn't really fought anyone else in that bracket. Nobody else. He was supposed to fight against Kai Kara France, never made that fight happen after 2 attempts. Now he's got Brandon Royval. And if you look at his record, this is the second fighter in the top 5 or top 10 that he's fighting against. I know he fought against Asam Albayev last, but let's be honest, Asam Albayev is a prospect. He's still coming up, if you're being realistic. He's not the mainstay of the top 5 or top 10, if you will. So besides Pantoja, who has Manel Kape really fought that we consider elite of the division? Nobody. And I think Royval is going to be the next test for him. Manel Kape is 32 years old. His ranking is 6 in the flyweight division. Excuse me, just had breakfast. His record so far stands at 21 wins, 7 losses, 0 no contest, 13 wins by KO, 5 wins by sub, 9 first round finishes. And he has a 2-fight winning streak at the moment, beating Asu Almabayev by 3rd round stoppage in his last fight. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't really competed against the top tier of the division. He's competed against some good names, but not top tier of the division. And Royval's going to be that next test for him. How they're going to win? It's a very interesting matchup, considering that Brandon Royval loves to strike. Even though he's got some good jiu-jitsu and some good submission wins as well, he is primarily a striker. Now, what makes Brandon Royval's grappling good is his scrambling ability. He loves to scramble. He's not going to shoot a double leg on you or a single leg or get a body lock, hook the arms, hook the underhooks, and then just, belly to belly suplex to take you down from there or outside from there. He doesn't do stuff like that. He's more of a kind of guy that wants to piece you up. And then if you shoot on him, he's going to scramble so hard that he's probably not going to get the takedown. Or if you do get the takedown, he's going to get you right off very quickly and get back to feet. Manel Kape, he's a little bit on the sort of the well-rounded side. I won't say he's the more well-rounded fighter between the two guys, but Manel Kape does switch it up in a fight. Doesn't rely so much on his striking. He can also shoot on you if he needs to, right? Which I think he's going to have to do in this fight. I think if he keeps the fight standing, I think he's going to get outstruck. Reason being is because Manel Kape isn't really a high-volume striker. He's a power puncher, two punches at best. Maybe sometimes he'll do a 3-punch combination. But primarily, he's the kind of guy that's got sharp defense, sharp strikes from the outside. You know what I mean? And when you come in, he'll crack you with a hard uppercut, and then maybe release 2 or 3 punches from there, and then come out of it again. But not really kind of guy that's going to do what Brandon Royval does, which is every second he's active. He's pushing out that jab, low kick, high kick, throwing a two-piece. He's gonna do that for every second of the fight. Just watch his fight against Brandon Moreno. Watch him when he fought against Pantoja, especially the second fight. Watch him when he fought against Tatsuro Taira. And even against Joshua Van, the fight that he lost, which in my opinion he won because he outstruck Joshua Van every round. If you look at that fight, those fights in particular, Brandon Royval does hit or strike every fucking second of the round. He doesn't let up. He doesn't take a backstep either. With his blasting body kicks or high kicks, he is striking every moment. Going backwards, he's throwing some hooks to counter you. You know what I mean? He's picking angles. He's never gonna be stagnant for him to be tracked down. Manel Kape does his best work when opponents are sort of taking pictures in front of him. You know what I mean? Where they're kind of standing there and they're timing a takedown or they're timing a counter. Those moments when you're doing those things, looking for timing, you actually give him Manel Kape chance to beat you, because Manel Kape will just walk you down and blast low kicks or blast a strong jab or blast the overhand on you, but he'll walk you down the whole time. And the more time you don't throw something, the more time you give him Manel Kape to actually size you up and let go some combinations and get his timing going. He'll blast calf kicks the whole time to set up those boxing combinations, but that's his fight style. So basically, to beat that kind of style, you do what Pantoja did. You basically don't let up. You put him on the back foot and you keep him on the back foot the whole time. Don't need to hunt for any finishes because he's got some very powerful counters. But what you do is you keep him backed up. When you keep him backed up, he's going to fight reactive. That means he's going to react to every feint you're going to give him. He's going to look to anything that you're going to put on him, because basically you're eliminating spaces and you're keeping him backed up the whole time. And Royval is that kind of fighter. High pressure, high volume, constant movement. These are weapons that Manel Kape struggles against. I feel like he's going to get outshined here again, because history's proven it. Whenever he goes up against the top tier of the division, they seem to outwork him every single time. Manel Kape is a heavy-handed kind of fighter. What that means is he's not gonna back you up with lots of volume. He's gonna back you up with pressure, and he's gonna feint and kick your legs out of you, which is gonna force you to react to something or force you to overextend on something, and that's when he counters you with some hard shots. So I think Manel Kape is gonna have to fight differently in this fight. He's going to have to be the aggressor. He's going to have to be the one that's going to increase the volume. Because Brandon Royval, you know what Brandon Royval does, especially in a 5-round fight. When it gets past the second round, Road Dogg ups that volume. He ups the ante. Just watch his last few fights. So you actually watch all of his fights. Whenever he gets past the second round, Royval ups the ante. He levels up the volume. He levels up the power. He might even start shooting on you just to make you think about the takedown. He's a high-level fucking fighter, and he loves to scrap. And I think that's the kind of weapons that Manel Kape is going to struggle with. The reach advantage as well, the height advantage for Brandon Royval. That's going to be something that Manel Kape is going to struggle with, in my opinion. And I like Manel Kape, and I feel like he could have been in the top 5 much longer. But I felt the inactivity, the injuries, the antics outside of the ring, I think all these things have sort of led him to be where he is right now, where he could have been a lot further in his career when it comes to the UFC rankings. But let's see what happens. Give me your take on this one in the chat, please. In the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think. Who's going to win? How are they going to get it done? And let's talk about some parlays. I didn't actually put together a parlay before putting my notes together, because the fight card didn't really, give me sleepless nights. I'll be like, I really want to watch this fight card. But I do want to watch this fight in particular. This main event is really the one that's capturing a lot of my attention. But I'm going to go Royval. I just think that he's got a lot more weapons. That's going to be a problem for Manel Kape. I think if I break it down, outside of power, I don't see any other way Manel Kape wins this fight, unless he fights like the way Piotr Jan just fought against Marat Dvalishvili. High pressure, strong jabs, forcing Brandon Royval to fight backwards. He's going to have to do that. But Royval's got such fantastic footwork that you can't really keep him down. You can't really keep him stuck in a position. He's going to move out of the way every single fucking time. Tough guy to beat, dude. Very tough guy to beat. And only the best guys have beaten him. So let's see what happens here. I really want to get your thoughts, but I'm going to go Brandon Royval for the win. Let's go, Road Dogg. I'll keep it moving to the next one. Go main event. Some good H2O. All right, co-main event. We have the return of the Giga Chikadze taking on Kevin Vallejos from Argentina. And I I'm quite surprised to see Giga Chikadze still here. I'm not gonna lie. He's from a generation that was, when Max was on the come up, Max Holloway was on the come up. He was of that time, and it's mad to see him still here at 37 years old. Let me give you some numbers, and they'll break down the X's and O's. Um, Giga Chikadze, 37 years old, ranked number 15 in the featherweight. There was a time where he was in the top 10. His record is 15 wins, 5 losses, 0 no contest. Pardon me. He's got 9 wins by KO, 1 win by sub, 9 first round finishes, 2 fight losing streak, lost to David Onama by unanimous decision in his last fight. Kevin Vallejos is 23 years old. His record is 16 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest, 11 wins by KO. That's fucking mad. 2 wins by sub, 8 first round finishes, and 2 fight winning streak. He beat Danny Silva by unanimous decision in his last fight. I think he's 2-0. I said 2 fight win streak in the UFC. Obviously, if you look at the record of 16-1, he's obviously, wiping people out, and 11 KOs. That is madness. He's got about over 80% finishing rate. So I would say well done to that. Well done to that. And he's still very young, 23 years old, built like a truck. This is going to be a wild fight. I think Giga Chikadze can give you a very good first round. Apart from his kickboxing, he's not the greatest at jiu-jitsu. He's not the greatest at wrestling. He doesn't really want where he wants to be. He wants to stay on the feet. He does have a height advantage over a lot of the guys in the featherweight division, being at 6 feet tall. But I've watched enough. I watched enough of Giga Chikadze to know that outside of the kickboxing range, which is at range, long range, not even mid-range, long range, he's gonna beat you because he's got fantastic kicks. But the kicks take a lot of energy, and it does slow him down when he gets into the second and third round. Also, being at 37 years old, I don't know if he still has the same pop and the same energy and the same recovery as he did, let's say, 10 years ago. Scrap that, even 7 years ago. You know what I mean? I don't know if he's got that same killer instinct in him. He's obviously a top fighter. He's got a good mentality in the game. But he's on a 2-fight losing streak. Hasn't looked the greatest. David Onama is not even top tier in my opinion, and he beat him. Whereas Kevin Vallejos is a power puncher of the highest order. Great boxing on the inside. Just a dog of note, and also great takedown defense. I think he's going to beat Giga Chikadze, in my opinion. If he gets in tight and he eliminates that kick in range, I think he pieces him up. If he gets in if he keeps the peekaboo stance, high guard, tuck your chin down, walk him down, get that jab going, I think Vallejos is gonna get the job done. Body shots, sharp body boxing combinations going. And then the more he stays in tight like that, I don't think it gives Chikadze any chance to do anything. Chikadze's boxing is not the most sharpest. I mean, let's be honest, I've watched a lot of his fights, and he's got good elbows when you come in tight, but boxing fundamentals, Chikadze is not there. He's the kind of guy that wants to body kick the oblivion out of you. That's what he does. And it's a little bit one-track minded, if you ask me, and he hasn't really leveled up with the performances or with the game. Petr Yan's performance against Merab Dvalishvili last week showcased me that the game has leveled up. You know what I mean? We've had now a long run of Dagestani wrestling dominating the sport. Combat Sambo dominating MMA. And we were wondering what's going to be the next evolution here. And Dominic Cruz spoke about this when he had DJ Dillashaw on his podcast, Love and War, where he said that you've got to look at the cycles of MMA. Like there's always an era where 10 years, 9 years, or even let's work around a round number of a decade at a time. You're going to have dominant wrestlers, and then you're going to have dominant strikers. Isal Desanya, Dominic Cruz. You get these guys that go, John Jones, that go on like dominant runs of strikers. Then they match up with wrestlers, and wrestlers have a long time. We've had that with Khabib's team, almost over 10 years of dominance of the grappling. And now we're starting to see guys level up to that and starting to change their style, because Du Plessis brought that in, where it's like we don't only have to grapple with these guys, we can outstrike them as well. Petr Yan showed that level. He showed that level over the weekend, where how do you beat these combat sambo kind of fighters? How do you stop them from just striking, strike. How do you beat that? And he matched that by being elite with his striking, elite with his takedown defense, and being aggressive with his takedown as well. But then also on top of that, having the gas tank to do this for 5 rounds. We were talking about Petr Yan's gas ending in the 3rd round, then had a second win. I didn't see it. I thought Petr Yan was on top every single round, and what he did really well was he backed up these kind of wrestlers. Now, Giga Chikadze didn't level up, in my opinion. He stayed relying on that range and hasn't really leveled up the boxing or even of his own takedowns. And he gets some of his own jiu-jitsu in there. He didn't do that, and the game caught up to him. Payeos is in the young breed, 23 years old, powerful boxing, good takedown defense. I feel like he's going to go ahead and actually showcase the level of or the evolution of the game and put it on Giga Chikadze. Give me your thoughts in the comments. If you've got a different opinion, I'd love to hear your thoughts there. But I'm going to go with the young blood here. I like Giga, but he hasn't showcased me that he's leveled up with the game, and that's why I'm going to go against him on this one. Give me your thoughts, guys. Let's go. Okay. Up next, we have middleweight action. This is going to be a fun fight. We have Cesar Almeida taking on, I hope I'm saying this right, Cesari or Kikari or Kikzari. I don't know how to say his name, but I'm going to say Cesari Olizasek, who seems to be the younger brother of Michal Olizasek. He's 25 years old. This is his debut in the UFC. He's got a record of 1 win, 2 losses, in no contest. I don't know anything else about the guy apart from that he's the brother of Michal Olizasek. Cesar Almeida is 37 years old. His record is 7 wins, 1 loss, in no contest, 5 wins by KO force, 4 first round finishes, 2 fight win streak, and he beat Abdul Razak Hassan by first round KO in his last fight. Sharp boxing, good takedown defense, not bad in jiu-jitsu. Can get tired as the fight goes on. He does showcase a little bit of exhaustion, especially when we get to that second and third round, which worries me a little bit for him. For Cesari Olizasek, if he fights anything like his brother, like Michal Olizasek, he's going to have brilliant boxing. Because Michal Olizasek has got fantastic boxing, sharp takedown defense. I don't believe this fight's going to go to the ground. I think this fight's going to stay standing. And if it stays like that, I'm probably going to favor Cesari Olizasek. I know this is his debut. I haven't watched him fight before. But his brother is at the new camp. If I'm not mistaken, he's training with Khabib's. No. He's training with the Fighting Nerds. So let's keep that in mind when thinking about this performance or this fight we're going to get here. There's Cesar Almeida. Although he's on a 2-fight win streak, he can get tagged. He does get tired. He has been finished before. We've seen this in the UFC. So let's see what happens. I'd be very surprised if this fight goes to the ground. And whoever shoots to the ground first, they better be successful with that takedown, because that will definitely cap a little bit of a performance on their side. It'll edge them closer to a win, because both these guys are probably going to keep it standing the whole time. And if it's going to be equal there, I'd love to see one of them go to the ground to sort of just edge it a little bit more and keep adding up that points, because it could be one of those fights where no one gets the upper hand in the boxing, and it could make for a snooze fest. But Almeida is never into any boring fights. He's always going in to put some performances on for the crowd and for himself to get those bonuses. I feel like that's going to make for an amazing fight. And Olizasek, if Cesar fights anything like his brother, it's going to be an absolute stunner of a fight, because Michal Olizasek is always in some wars. Those guys love to box. They look good. They always get finishes. And he's got the look in his eye. And also, Cesar Olizasek has always been in Michal's corner. So I'm expecting a performance out of him here. I don't know who's going to win. I can't really pick a winner here. But I am going to pick a performance for the fans. This fight's going to go down as one of the good fights for the fight god. Keep a lookout for that one, guys. But if you can pick a winner, I'd love to hear in the comment section. Please let me know. And also, while you're at it, like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. All right. This is going to be a fun one. Featherweight MMA. We have Nukizil Costa taking on Morgan Charrier, the Pirate. And I think this is also going to be a banger of a fight. Both these guys are really talented fighters. They can also put in some snooze fists. We've seen it before. But I think where they both are at in their careers right now, they need big wins, big finishes, big statement kind of wins. They really want to start climbing up that featherweight rankings. Where, if we're being realistic, we do need some more contenders. Let's be honest, this division does need more contenders. We have a rematch between Volkanovski and fuck it. I don't know why I can't get to his name now. Oh my soul, this is actually annoying me. Lopez, right? I think it is Diego Lopez. We're having a rematch between Diego Lopez and Volkanovski. Obviously, can't seem to get a fight. Ray Rodriguez is still in there. Leron Murphy's a new contender. And then we got Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling, Yusuf Zalal, Steve Garcia, these guys don't really make the fans go crazy. You know what I mean? Even though I think they're really all great fighters, but the division does need a bit of a shake-up. It does need new contenders. And I think if Milkizeo Costa and Morgan Charrier can make statement wins here, they can add themselves to that names along with the Garcias and the Zalals and so on and so on and so on. But the division does need a bit of a shake-up, if you ask me. Since the release or the move on from Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria, it's like, yeah. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest. Outside of Diego Lopez, Rodriguez, and Lerone Murphy are the only other two guys that really get me excited for that division, and Mabza Iloif as well. But other than that, no one else really stands out as top contenders for me. But anyway, Milkizeo Costa is 28 years old. His record is 24 wins, 7 losses, 0 no contest, 7 wins by KO, 8 wins by sub, 9 first round finishes, 4-fight win streak, beating Julian Arosa by unanimous decision in his last fight. Morgan Charrier, on the other hand, he's 30 years old. His record is actually insane. 21 wins, 11 losses, 1 no contest, 13 wins by KO, 3 wins by sub, 8 first round finishes. He's on a 3-fight win streak, beating Nate Landwehr a 3rd round KO in his last fight. Yeah, both guys are in need of a finish here, even though both Morgan got a finish in his last fight, but he took on a little bit of an older dog in Nate Landwehr. Let's be honest, Nate Landwehr was never really going to be a top contender of the division. And also for Milkizeo Costa to beat Julian Erosa, who came from the Ultimate Fighter with Conor McGregor, it's not really a big name on his cap. It's not like, he took out a huge name. He just took out another unranked guy. So it's like a win here should definitely put one of these guys, considering that both of them are on streaks right now, I think a win here would definitely put them into that conversation of potentially fighting for a ranking. Or potentially, they will fight for a ranking next after this fight. And if I think about the rankings in this division right now, number 15 is Giga Chikatsuke, and then David Onama, who lost his last fight, and then Dan Ige, who also lost his last fight. And then Patricio Pitbull, who's a little bit of an old dog, if you've been honest. You know, I think a win for either one of these gentlemen here, for Morgan or Milkizeo, it will put them in that position to fight for number 15. Especially if Giga Chikatsuke loses to Vallejos, then I think Milkizeo or Morgan, whoever wins here, will get that number 15 spot. Considering that Vallejos is still fairly new to the brand, right? To the promotion. I don't think beating Giga Chikatsuke is going to give him that 15, considering that Milkizeo Costa and Morgan Charrier are on win streaks, 4 and 3 win streaks. So I think Vallejos is going to have to go through either the winner or the loser of this fight that you see on screen right now. But who's going to win? Hard to say. I like both guys, but I've also seen both of them put on very boring fights, like snooze fest kind of performances. I feel like the fight's going to keep standing. If it keeps standing, I'm probably going to favor Morgan Charrier a little bit. I think he's sharper on the feet. I think he's got sharp striking. He's fast. I think he might be faster as well. I don't think he has the power that that Milkizeo Costa has. And Milkizeo Costa is pretty durable kind of guy. He also has very sharp boxing, right? But not as elusive on the feet in terms of his footwork as Morgan Charrier. So I feel like Milkizeo Costa may have a hard time actually landing on the targets he wants to, considering Morgan Charrier is the kind of fighter that's hard to hit. And when Morgan Charrier does lose fights, some people grab him, they take him down and then just smash him the whole time on the ground, or they keep him up in the clinch position and don't give him a chance to work by keeping him active in defending takedowns all the time or defending grappling exchanges all the time. That's how you beat Morgan Charrier. The more you keep him standing, that you're going to give him a chance to box with you and like basically just kickbox his way to a victory. And Milkizeo Costa, I feel like he's probably going to take this fight to the ground. I feel like he's probably going to look in the first round and realize, I can't actually catch this guy on the feet. My jab is not going to land the way I want him to. I'm going to have to take him down and smash him there. And that's why it's a tricky fight to pick a winner. I'm probably going to go with Milkizeo Costa. The reason why I'm going with him, I feel like he does have a little bit more in the tool shed. He knows what to use. He has a bit more ways to take the fight into other avenues, where Morgan Charrier doesn't really shoot for takedowns, doesn't really look for submissions that much. He got 3 wins by sub in over 40 fights. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really looking for that. With Milkizeo Costa, he's got 8 wins by sub, 7 wins by KO. In these 24 wins, he's got 8 of them have been beat by sub. So he has different ways to take the fight. I feel like that's going to be a key to this victory for him, is because he can actually grapple. Whereas Morgan Charrier don't want that noise, right? So I feel like the keys or the path to victory is a little bit more clear for Milkizeo Costa as it is for Morgan Charrier. But of course, it's an MMA fight that anything can fucking happen on the day. And Rogan Sharia has been looking better in his last 3 fights. But both guys need a statement here. It can't just be a decision win. It needs to be a statement. And if it's a win decision win, it needs to be like a shutout. Like every fucking round, you dominated this guy. Because the division's a little bit competitive at the moment. Outside, like I know I spoke about it needs contenders, right? But Steve Garcia's doing things. He's knocking out people. Arnold Allen is fighting against, I think, Yusuf Zalal next or someone. No, he's fighting against John Silva, I think. Right? Ryan Ortega, Josh Emmett they're on their way out. Patricio Pitbull is in the stickiest position right now. I don't know if he's gonna get any further than what he's currently at. Dan Ige the same, David Onama the same, Giga Chikadze is also on his way out, in my opinion. So then you got Yusuf Zalal, Arnold Allen, Steve Garcia was doing the things. Alderman just won his fight against Brian Ortega, so he's in the top 5 now. Leon Murphy's undefeated. He should be getting a title shot, in my opinion. He's probably going to get Yair Rodriguez next. Diego Lopez fighting for a title. Mabzalov is undefeated. He's probably going to fight for a title soon as well. And you got Volkanovski, who's kind of the champion. Right? So if they want to get into that conversation with Steve Garcia and Yusuf Zalal, they need to make a statement in this fight. They can't put on a snooze fest here. You have to make a statement. Knock each other out, tap each other out, do something big to actually say, listen, Dana, put me in that top 5 next. Never mind Josh Emmett, give me Steve Garcia next. I want to be into that top 7. I want to climb there. I want to be in that ranking. I don't think either guy can call out the title shot here, but a big statement win can put them in the top 7 for sure. Let's see what happens. Give me your thoughts in the comment sections, please. Let's go. It was so high. Okay, there we go. Okay, excuse me. Okay, opening up the main card, we have I'm thinking about one championship. We have a heavyweight matchup between Kennedy Nzechukwu taking on Marcus Buchecha from one championship. What was his nickname again? I always like saying his nickname. Marcus Buchecha. Look at the UFC, not allowing me to click on this motherfucker's name. Anyway. Sorry, I'm just trying to, not that it's important. I'm going to give you some numbers on this fight. I think this is going to be a fun fight. Someone's going out here, whether there's a knockout or it's going to be a submission win. I'll be very surprised this fight actually goes all the way. I'm not putting his nickname here. Anyway. Okay. So, let me give you some numbers. Kennedy Nzechukwu is 33 years old. His record currently stands at 14 wins, 6 losses, 0 no contest, 10 wins by KO, 4 first round finishes, and he lost to Walter Walker by first round sub. Just freaked him in that first round. Marcus Buchecha, on the other hand, he's 35 years old, obviously coming from one. His record is currently standing at 5 wins, 2 losses, 0 no contest, 1 win by KO, 4 wins by sub, 5 first round finishes, and he lost to Martin Buday by unanimous decision in his last fight. Very disappointing. So that means his last 2 fights he lost. Martin Buday and obviously Omar Khan Rug, which I think is fucking mad that he lost to these 2 fights, in my opinion. Okay, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He comes out of the American top team, obviously training with big names there. He's expected to win this fight. Kennedy Nzechukwu has knocked out people since he's gone to heavyweight. Obviously, the last fight, he wasn't his best up against Walter Walker, but he's still very dangerous. You know that he can't really grapple that well, which is a big thing for me because Marcus Buchecha does a really good job at working his way in. I expected more from him against Martin Buday. Little underwhelming, I'm not going to lie. I think he blasted his tank out in the first round and basically just fought survival mode for 2 rounds after that, and that's probably why he lost. But in this fight, I think he can obviously learn from that, and if he's patient enough and he works his way in progressively, don't give Kennedy any sort of chance to work his jab and get his strikes going. Eliminate the distance, grab him, take him down. He doesn't have the greatest takedown defense. He can't grapple that well. And Marcus Buchecha is a high-level grappler. I think what keeps the fight on the ground and patiently works for the submissions, he will win the fight. If he does what he did against Buday and rushes to the next position and rushes to the transitions, he's going to get tired again. He's not going to get the finish. Kennedy's going to get up and Kennedy's going to knock him out. Right? But let's see what happens, because Patricia does have a habit of also just striking in there, and he could potentially get KO'd because he has very bad boxing defense. Watch the fight against Omar Khan Rug. Watch that fight in one championship. There was moments in that fight where he stayed and he had Rug backed up, and he would be striking and striking, just throw in 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then he'll get tagged in those moments the whole time. And I feel like a more powerful striker that would stand and bang with him in the pocket like that, put him away. So he's gonna have to be careful. And Kennedy's got some super power there. Yeah, I'm gonna go Marcus Pacheco just because he can actually take the fight to the ground and look for submissions. He's gonna be a key to victory for him. And if he doesn't get it, he's probably gonna lay on him for 2 more rounds after that and win the fight by decision. Give me your thoughts. Obviously, I want Kennedy to also, blast him out the water if he can. But I think Marcus is gonna just grapple him for 3 rounds, or possibly put him away the submission in the first round. Give me your thoughts in the comment section. Let's keep it moving. I'm going to talk about some of the. I'm going to do this now for a second and talk about some of the prelim fights, which I think is going to be entertaining. Women's strawweight bout between Amanda Lemos and Jillian Robertson. That's a big fight. Number 5 versus number 10. The reason why it's a big fight is because I think a big win here for Jillian Robertson would really catapult her, considering what she's done in 2025 and going back to 2024. Amanda Lemos, on the other hand, has sort of gone down since she lost in the title fight against Wei Li, and hasn't really clawed her way back since then. So I'm going to give you some numbers. For example, Amanda Lemos is 38 years old, which I think is going to count against her here. Ranked number 5 in the strawweight division. Record is 15 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest, 8 wins by KO, 3 wins by sub, 8 first round finishes. Lost to Tatiana Suarez by unanimous decision in her last fight. Jillian Robertson, on the other hand, is 30 years old. Record is 16 wins, 8 losses, 0 no contest, 3 wins by KO, 9 wins by sub, 3 first round finishes, 4 fight win streak, beating Marina Rodriguez by second round KO in her last fight, which is mad. She doesn't really get KOs, but Robertson has leveled up. I've watched her in the Ultimate Fighter season that she was in, when she was still a little baby like that, and watched her grow, and she really has leveled up a game. She used to be primarily just a grappler. Loved the grappling game, loved jiu-jitsu, but now she's got devastating ground and pound. And what I noticed big in her career change in this 4-fight win streak is that she's got gas, she's got stamina, and she can go and go and go and then just keep turning it on in the rounds. I felt like, that's a big level up for her. She was never like that, and now she can weaponize that stamina and put the pace and the pressure on opponents and fold them, basically make them quit. I think is a phenomenal weapon to have in combat sports. On top of that, she also leveled up her boxing. She doesn't just go forward like that. Now she jabs and she works her way in, and then over and right shoots for a takedown and change those moves together really well. She's really changed the game a lot. And Amanda Lemos, apart from her overhand right that she has, which is her best weapon, she doesn't really have much of that anymore. I liked Lemos. She was a powerful puncher, but she's really slowed down. At 38 years old, she's really slowed down significantly. She doesn't even grapple that much anymore. She just wants to stand out there on the outside. She's got good understanding. She's got good IQ of the game. She's got fantastic calf kicks, a good strong jab, and a good overhand right. And those are the things she recycles all the time. But if you grapple with her and you chain wrestle and you strike and you chain these things together the whole time and keep her on the back foot, she can't do anything to you. And she's probably going to give up those rounds all the time. I think Jillian Robertson's fireball nature and the way that she fights is almost like a combat sambo athlete, even though she hasn't even done that style. But she does utilize that style in MMA, and she does it really well in the last 4 fights. And I feel like that's going to be the keys to her victory in this fight. For Lemos, it's just basically a knockout shot, attacking the legs. I don't know if Robertson has changed the way of how she defends calf kicks, because that used to be a bit of a weakness. And she doesn't defend that really well. I think Amanda Lemos can really crack her on that legs and really force Robertson to panic wrestle, which will then lead Robertson to her demise. But I feel like Robertson has gone on a big streak, and I feel like it's her time more than it is Lemos' time right now. And that's why I'm going to go Jillian Robertson right now. I think she knows there's more to her, for her to gain than there is from when Lemos to lose. Amanda Lemos, if she loses here, it's like, yeah, I lost. Probably be number 6 after this. And I fought for the title already. I'm making good cash. Tasted that top of the food chain a little bit. So I feel like there's less for Lemos to lose than it is for Robertson to gain. Robertson can gain a lot out of this win. So I feel like that's going to carry and fuel her to actually put in a mad performance in this fight. But give me your thoughts in the comment section. Excuse me. What do you guys think about that one? Because I think that's a very good fight. It's a very good fight to the division as well. Joanson Brito taking on Milsak. I think Milsak got KO'd in his last fight. I can't remember who it was, but he got KO'd in his last fight. And Joanson Brito It's just been on those guys on the unfortunate side of the judges. You know what I mean? Where I feel like he should have won these last couple of fights. The judges didn't work in his favor. But let's see. That's going to be a fun fight as well. I think Brito should put in a good performance. Neil Magny doing Neil Magny things, welcoming him newcomers over. I think UFC's paying him good money to just be that guy in the division of the welterweight division. So let's see what happens there. I'm pretty unfamiliar with his opponent of Yaroslav Amosov. Anything about the guy? If you got any comments there, let me know in the comment section, please. The rest of the fight card, I can't say that I can give any opinions about it. It's a bunch of noobs I'm not familiar with. Alan Fry Jr., I'm not sure if he's related to Don Fry. If he is, that's fucking awesome. Let's see what he's all about. And I think Melissa Crowden's probably going to beat Luana Santos as well. That's my time. But I will be giving you guys a parlay in the comment section once the video is released. But you can do the same thing if you want to give me the opinions or your parlays. You know where that comment section is. That is my time, ladies and gentlemen. This fight card will be live this Sunday, 14th of December at 5 a.m. South African time. That's 5 a.m. will be the main card slot. 2 a.m. will be the prelim slot. But I don't think we'll be live for this one. But I'm definitely going to be watching the fight card and give you guys a nice recap. But what else you can expect? Tomorrow we will be releasing our One Championship Friday Fights 136 preview. Myself back on screen here. And then Friday, we will be live with the One Friday Fights 136. So I hope to see you guys there. It's going to be a fun fight card. It's actually quite stacked. This next couple of Friday Fights cards, One Championship is going to be insane. So I hope to see you guys there. And we can make some good money on it. But that is my time from myself and the Fighting with Friends team. Please have a fantastic day. Like, share, and subscribe. Please hit all those like buttons. It does help the channel grow every single time you guys click on it. And then I will love and will respect and hope to see all of you guys on our next one. Have a very good day, and I will see you then. Get this over here. Cheers, everybody.